Dear students, in this lecture, we will be discussing about the basic concept with regard to slope deflection equations. So, in this module, we will be discussing about slope deflection equation. So, this is part of our module 2, and from the terms itself, you can understand that slope and deflection are both related to displacement. So, it's a displacement method of analysis. So basically what the displacement method of analysis means is the unknowns are, it will be either slope or it will be displacement. Second thing is we will be developing slope deflection equations. So we have to first develop uh, force displacement relations. So slope deflection equation is nothing but it is basically a force displacement relation. Okay. So slope deflection equation is basically a force displacement relation, and this we will be solving using joint equilibrium conditions. So after doing this, we will be applying the basic equilibrium equations to solve the problem. Now let us see how to derive the slope deflection equation. So before we do that, we need to learn some basic concepts. So first one is, imagine you are having a simply supported beam. Okay, so now let us say you are having a beam with its far end fixed. So this is end A and this is B. We call this as the case of the far end. Far end is B and it is fixed. Now if you want to produce a clockwise rotation here, the deflected shape would be something like this. The point of contraflexure would come somewhere here. Till this region it is going to be sagging, and from somewhere here it is going to hog. So if you try to draw the tangent to the curve, this would be the slope, that will be theta A. Now to produce a rotation theta A here, the moment that needs to be applied at the end A will be 4 EI by L into theta A. This will be the moment that needs to be applied here. And when you apply a moment here at the fixed end, the moment that will get induced is again the same clockwise moment. However, the magnitude will be 2 EI by L into theta A. So if you look into it, the moment that you applied here is 4 EI by L into theta A, and whatever that got induced here is 2 EI by L into theta A. So here we have to understand two concepts. First is to introduce a theta rotation at this end for a case of a beam with far end fixed, the moment you have to apply is 4 EI by L into theta A. That is first concept you have to understand. And when you apply such a moment, half of that will get induced at the fixed end. Or in other words, if I can put it, for a beam with far end fixed, if I apply a moment of magnitude m here, half that will get induced at the fixed end. Okay, so this concept needs to be understood. So this kind of a moment we call it as carryover moment. Okay, this kind of moment which get induced at the far end or the fixed end, we call this as carryover moment, and that carryover moment is half and has the same direction as the moment that is applied here. Imagine if you applied it in the anti-clockwise direction, the moment that will get induced here will also be anti-clockwise. The next case I would like to discuss is the case of a far end pinned. This is the next case. So imagine we have a beam with its far end pinned. Far end is end, B is the far end, that is the end where you are not applying the moment. And imagine we need a theta rotation here. So this is the tangent and this is theta A. The moment that you have to apply here to get a theta moment is theta rotation is equal to 3 EI by L into theta A. Now these values you can develop by using the moment area theorem. You can apply the moment area theorem which you have studied in structural analysis 1 to develop these values. But for the time being, we will learn these results. We will take them for granted. So if you are having a case wherein the far end is pinned, the moment that you have to apply to get a theta rotation at the near end is 3 ei by L into theta A. You have to clearly distinguish between the differences of both these cases. In this case, you are having the far end as pinned, that means it is free to rotate. Whereas here, the far end is fixed, that means it is resisting the rotation of the far end. So there will be a moment that will get induced here. Okay. So these are the cases wherein rotation is applied at one end. The next two cases we need to discuss is with regarding settlement. So imagine you have a fixed beam. This is A and this is B. And let us say the right support B is settling with respect to the left support. So imagine you have something like this. So the support has settled to B dash. So if you look here, this is your displacement of the right support with respect to the left support. And when you have something like this, the reaction here is going to be in the downward direction. The reaction here would be in the upward direction. And if you look, this system as a whole, because of these two reaction, is going to rotate in the clockwise direction. So because it is rotating in the clockwise direction, the moment that should develop at both these ends should counter it. Therefore, the direction of moments at both the supports will be countering the direction of moments created by the reactions. So it will be anti-clockwise in nature. The magnitude of those moments is 6 EI by L square into delta. This moment is also having the same magnitude, 6 EI by L square into delta. So this is another relation that you have to learn. Here again you have to understand that we will assume this delta as positive only when the right support is settling with respect to the left support. Okay, delta is positive. Delta is positive when the right support settle with respect to left support. Okay, I hope the concept is clear to you. So these are the different cases that we have to understand to do the derivation of the three moment equation, I mean the slope deflection equation. So once again, here we what we considered is we had a beam that is settling and the right support has settled with respect to the left support. So what we did is we found out the direction of the reactions first, and after having found out the direction of the reactions, then what we did is the reactions are forming a clockwise couple. Therefore, for equilibrium, the moment should form an anti-clockwise moment. So we calculated the moment, and the magnitude is, we by hearted the magnitude as 6 by L square into delta. We have to take it for granted. The derivation is available, or you can do the derivation using three moment equation. I mean three moment theorem, not three moment theorem, moment area theorem. Okay. Now, having understood these, let us try to do the derivation for slope deflection equation. So in slope deflection equation, what we are going to do is we are going to consider a span, an intermediate span of a continuous beam. So we are going to consider intermediate span AB of a continuous beam. Let us assume that the span B has settled with respect to span A. So span B has undergone settlement with respect to span A. This is span B and this is span A. So span B has undergone settlement. Let us say the magnitude of that settlement is delta. The straight line that is joining the 2 points, we call that as the chord. For example, this straight line AB is known as the chord. And after settling, what you can see is the new straight line joining the supports is AB dash. Okay, so the chord has rotated in the clockwise direction. So that idea has to be kept in mind. Now let L be the span, E be the modulus of elasticity. So all other notations are going to remain same. Now here what we are going to do is we are going to assume that clockwise moments are positive in nature. Okay, so we will be assuming clockwise moments and rotations as positive. Also delta is positive if the right support settles with respect to left support. That is when you will consider delta for a span as positive. Okay, so these two has to be kept in mind all the time. Now let us draw the deflected shape of the beam. So there is some arbitrary loading on the beam. Let us call it as W1, W2. It may be a UDL also. Those are arbitrary loading. And if you draw the deflected shape, let us assume all the displacements as well as the rotations as well as the moments as positive. So here also you will be having a clockwise rotation, and at this end also you will be having a clockwise rotation. So if you draw the tangent, the rotation here will be theta b, and if you draw the tangent here, the rotation here will be theta a. And let us assume that the moment at this support is MAB, that is the moment at A for the span AB, MAB. Similarly, the moment here, let us assume it as MBA, that is the moment at B for the span AB. So that is MBA. All have been assumed clockwise, and clockwise we have assumed it as positive. Now, what we need to do is we need to develop equations for MAB as well as MBA. Let us see how we are going to do this. So if you look here, in this, considering the initial beam was perfectly straight. Okay, the initial beam was perfectly straight, And in this beam, this was the initial beam. In this beam you had various loading. Okay, this was the initial beam. And what are the things that happened? There was a settlement for the right support, so there is a settlement, so we need to include this. Second thing is, there is rotation theta a on the left support. Okay, and third thing is, there is rotation theta b on the right support. So if we develop these three things for this particular beam, we will be, the moment that will produce at the ends will be MAB and MBA. So let us see how to simulate this. So what we are going to do is, we are going to start with a fixed beam. We are going to start with a fixed beam. Okay, we are going to start with a fixed beam AB, and we have the arbitrary loadings here. Let us assume, so the moments that are going to develop at the ends for the fixed beam will be the fixed end moments. We are going to assume that they are also positive in the clockwise direction. So this will be MFAB, and so this is not AB, this is BA, and this would be MFAB. So this is the first case. Second case is, to this we are going to add the case of the beam that has undergone support settlement. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to introduce support settlement here. So this is B here, and it has undergone, the support B has undergone settlement. Okay, the drawing is bad, but I hope the idea is very clear. Again, we told that we will assume delta as positive when the right support is settling with respect to the left support A. And as you know, when settlement is occurring, this will be the reaction in the downward direction. The reaction here will be in the upward direction, and the reactions are producing a clockwise moment. So the moments are going to be anti-clockwise. Magnitude is 6 EI delta by L square. Similarly here also the moment will be 6 EI delta by L square. So this is the second case. We have introduced the support settlement. Next case is, we need to introduce the rotations. So first what we will do is, we will introduce rotation at end A. So a clockwise rotation is introduced at end A. This is theta A. So if you want to introduce a clockwise rotation theta A here, the moment that you have to apply here is clockwise 4 EI by L into theta A, and because of that, the moment that will get induced here, or the carryover moment, is half of that, that is 2 EI by L into theta A. So two things are over. One, settlement is over. Similarly, rotation at A is over. Next thing is, you have to introduce the rotation at B. So you are again going to introduce a clockwise rotation. So this is 4 EI by L into theta B, and the carryover moment is half of that, 2 EI by L into theta B. So now if you see, if you add all this, what you will be getting is, you will be getting the initial beam that we started with. That is the case wherein there is a clockwise rotation. If you add all the four cases, you will get the beam which is having a clockwise rotation at theta A clockwise rotation at theta B, and a support settlement of delta. Okay, and the net moment that is going to develop at the supports will be nothing but MAB and MBA. So let us try to write equations for MAB and MBA. So basically what we have done is, this case is equivalent to the sum of the four cases. Okay, so if you try to write equations for MAB and MBA. Okay, I'll try to write it here. So MAB, which is clockwise, is equal to MFAB, that is this one, plus we will take from this case, that is again 4 EI by L into theta A. So it is 4 EI by L into theta A. From the next figure, if you look, it is 2 EI by L into theta B. Okay, so it is 2 EI by L into theta B, and the last term is in the anti-clockwise direction, so minus 6 EI delta by L square. So if I try to rewrite this term, what I'm going to get is MFAB plus, we'll take 2 EI by L outside, into 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. So this is what we call it as the slope deflection equation. So MAB is equal to MFAB plus 2 EI by L plus 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. That is known as the slope deflection equation. So finally, the slope deflection equations are MAB is equal to MFAB plus 2 EI by L into 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. Similarly, you can write expression for MBA, that is equal to MFBA plus 2 EI by L plus, this time it is 2 theta B plus theta A minus 3 delta by L. And here all the moments, all the rotations, they are positive clockwise, and delta is positive if the right support settles with respect to left support for the span that you are considering. So this is basically what is known as the three moment equation. So in the next lecture, what we will do is we will try to solve problems using the three moment slope deflection equation. Thank you.